Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Kevon's Life. Kevon, and we are continuing our summer crochet plus size summer crochet wearables, whatever this is, because in real time I am taking so many L's on the crochet wearable front. Everything I was working on just is not working out, and so I'm having to go back and redo it. And I really want to put videos out, but unfortunately the timeline is being pushed and pushed and pushed because the projects aren't working out. And so I'm low-key beating myself up because I had all these great plans in my head to drop videos on my crochet wearables this summer. Unfortunately, the wearables are kicking my ass and they're taking long to make because they're just not working out. And so I'm having to troubleshoot and figure things out, which is, it's all a part of the process. But this arbitrary date timeline in my head that I have is throwing me off. And so long story long, I'm still working on the projects that I had anticipated being finished and done with and being added to my summer wardrobe weeks ago. Unfortunately, I'm having to keep working on those. So I'm at the point where I'm just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping that it sticks. So I'm starting a new project today. And I just am like, fingers crossed. I hope it works out. I hope it doesn't kick my ass. Hopefully I will have a win because I need a win. I'm trying to get a win. So you can tell from the title of this video and thumbnail that we're making a crochet skirt, which I'm very excited about because I do think I can make a mean skirt, especially for my plus size body. So that's what we're gonna do today. The only new factor is that I'm using t-shirt yarn, which I've never used. So hopefully it works out there. Fingers crossed. Let me show you all my materials. I picked up a really big skein of yarn from Amazon. This is one of the t-shirt yarns. This is a t-shirt yarn brand that I've been ordering from most recently. This yarn, I know for a fact, is super duper stretchy compared to if you've ever worked with t-shirt yarn before, you know that sometimes it can be more or less stretchy. So for example, when Joanne was in business and they had t-shirt yarn, their t-shirt yarn was more like t-shirt yarn. It was less stretchy, more like if you were to cut up your own t-shirt, that's what you would get. That's what it would feel like, and you wouldn't be able to stretch it as much. This t-shirt yarn that I've been ordering from Amazon is more stretchy, so it just has a little bit more elasticity in it, just as an FYI. So anyway, I picked up one big skein of this. Usually the skeins are smaller, but I saw that they had an option for double the amount. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need this, if not another skein. So I picked up one to start, and I'm making my skirt in pink. I'm just a pink girl. I love pink so much. Pink is what we've got. And then I'm using my size 8mm crochet hook. I am freehanding this, but my hope is that this should be pretty simple. You really are going to need to chain around the widest point of your hips, the widest point of your body, which for most people, especially if you're an hourglass shape, would be your hips. I'm not going to chain around my hips because my hips are small. I'm an apple shape. So that means that I have small hips, bigger belly. And so I'm actually going to chain around the biggest part of my belly. So hopefully that makes sense for anybody who is apple shaped. Because yeah, the goal for me whenever I'm making wearables, whenever I'm putting on clothes on my body, is always to create the optical illusion that I have bigger legs than what I do, because I just have small legs. And so that's the body God gave me. So I got to work with what I got to get what I want. And choosing the right silhouette is working with what I got. I did do one thing. I did make a mini version of this skirt because I needed to practice the loop stitch. And so I figured, yeah, a mini version should be exactly what I'm looking for and should be a good practice. I mean, this is what the skirt will look like. This is exactly what it will look like, just for my actual body. I looked up a tutorial on how to do the loop stitch. Pretty simple. You do need to watch somebody do it though. So I'll link the tutorial that I looked at in my description box if you're curious and want to try it. I just chained a certain amount and then I connected the chain into the round, and then you just work your loop stitches. So that's what I'm going to do for this skirt. And I seriously pray that it is mindless and that it works out. And this is exactly what I want, just on my body. And this is a summer crochet outfit, so I fully anticipate wearing this at the beach, so the skirt itself can be pretty short. Let's get started on that. I'm listening to Where the Wildflowers Grow, which is so good so far. I wasn't really sure if this was going to be my vibe, but It is actually my vibe. It is so poetic. And low key, I want the book in a physical copy because, wow, the author, the way she writes, she's just like dropping little lines in the story. I'm like, chef's kiss. Like, you really ate that up. And I just feel like it needs to be underlined and circled, and a post-it needs to be put on it because it's such a good line. So yeah, I'm loving it so far. And I look forward to reading the rest of her catalog too. I know she wrote Summer in Savannah, One Summer in Savannah, or whatever it is. Like, there's a few other books that a lot of people rave about by her, by this author. So yeah, pray for me, y'all. If this video is posted, that means that I did successfully complete the project. But boy, crochet has really been eating me up over the last few weeks. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just chain to go around the widest part of my body, which I'm gonna do my stomach area. So I'm just gonna chain. I chained my chain. We're working in the round now, and I slip stitch. I'm gonna chain up one because I'm just gonna do single crochets. So now I'm just gonna single crochet back around. Also, I've just done one row, and now what I'm gonna do, I chained up one and I'm going to turn my work and work again on the second row. I'm not sure how many rows of this I'm gonna do, but I do want to like a healthy size waistband, so I might do like 3 or 4 rows. I'm just gonna wing it, but I'm still gonna do single crochets. We started together in pink. I decided that I didn't love the pink, so I ordered more yarn in a dark pink color, and this is my vibe. I feel like I have something. Oh, I have that other skirt in this pink color. I just love a dark pink, so I picked up some yarn in a dark pink, and I have officially started the skirt again. And I've been so bad at timing my projects, so I went and found my stopwatch so that I could start it, even though I technically already started the skirt. So whatever, it is what it is. But I wanted to show y'all that I'm working on the skirt. I'm still gonna do the 4 rows like I said, so I'm about to start row 4, and then I will actually start the loops. So yeah, this is what we have. I have 11 minutes left in DCC, so yeah, watching that, and I'm chilling all day, which I'm so excited about. I am officially starting the loops around the skirt, and I think I'm gonna start listening to my book. So yeah, there's the loops. And then after each row of loops, you do a row of single crochets, and then you'll do a row of loops, row of single crochets. So yeah, I'm just gonna go like that. And I'm hoping I can make a pretty big dent in this project today. This is what we have so far. They're little, I need to go longer. But yeah, that's what we have. I need to go longer. I want them long like the first one. It's getting a little short with those. Sorry my chair is so squeaky, but I finished the bag, put it all together, and now I'm ready to put my name on there. And yesterday I was originally thinking I was just gonna do it like the girl did it on hers, and she just used hot glue. But then I read the comments and they were like, well, it might melt. Basically, like the glue would reactivate and it would you know, melt. And so I was like, oh, that is kind of like a bad idea because I'm taking this bag to the beach. That's the whole point of me making this bag. So I saw another idea that suggested using pipe cleaners, and lo and behold, I don't have no pipe cleaners in this house, which is crazy. I know I have some, I just can't find them. Or maybe I'll use them all. I don't know, but I had to go out and get some more pipe cleaners. So that's what I did today. I'm ready to move on to the next part of the project. So what I'm going to do is take what I printed off yesterday, and I'm going to lay the parchment paper down. Then I'm going to hot glue and lay down the pipe cleaners so that there's a little bit of hot glue and the pipe cleaners give it some structure for me to wrap the raffia around. So that's the plan. So let me heat up the hot glue. Yeah, we'll go from there. Hopefully the glue gun is alive, period. Okay. Glue gun looks like she's got some juice. I picked up white pipe cleaners, but the color really doesn't matter. Yeah. And I'm gonna cut these down to size, well, like enough to go for my name. They don't have to be as long. Hopefully this will work. Okay, so I'm not super sure exactly what I'm doing, but I cut some down to size, and I just like quickly, for lack of a better word, like traced out or like shifted some of the pipe cleaners to match my name. Then I'm gonna glue down, and the goal for me is to make this like as continuous as possible. Yeah, I just don't want to be gluing down or gluing around with a raffia a bunch of separate letters. So I'm gonna try to connect everything where I can. And the good thing is this doesn't have to be perfect because, yeah, I'm going to be gluing down with the raffia. And one thing about me, I'm not that much of a perfectionist, so it ain't that serious for me. My bare minimum is generally pretty good. It might sound a little arrogant there, but, you know, who else is going to toot my own horn? Who else? Okay. So there's the Y. Like a little messy. It's okay. And now that I'm done, it's really messy, y'all. Like the hot glue itself. But now that it's done, I can just lift it off the parchment paper. And I have my name. Period. Let's see how it looks on the bag. I'm sorry, the chair is so squeaky. Cute. Can you see the vision? But of course, where it's supposed to be in pink. Very cute though. What if I would have spelled my name wrong? I just did a little shaping. I like cut off some of the like excess hot glue, and then for the spaces in my name that have like a hole in them, so for example an O or the E where there's a hole and I can't put the raffia through, I just poked a hole with the scissors and cut it out so I can get the raffia through. So on the video she just like wrapped the raffia, so I'm gonna try that. I don't know how it's gonna go. I guess I probably do need a little bit of hot glue though to get started with that. And then she like took some, okay, I need to turn the hot glue back on. Maybe I could use the E6000. I don't know. Let me move this out the way, move the bag out the way. So she cut like some pieces and just glued them down, so I am gonna do that because that might help me keep some of this together. Trial and error, trial and error. And I think I might cut the raffia in smaller pieces too. Then I can work with it a little better. Child, I don't know. Okay, now I'm gonna wrap. Figure this out and then I'll come back to y'all, but I am seeing that you definitely want to keep your glue lines super clean because yeah, so I'm actually going to cut a little bit more of the excess glue off so that my lines are cleaner, and then I'll wrap. And I think I'm going to try to wrap with some E6000 and not this hot glue because, you know, it's irritating on your fingers. So yeah. Okay, it is 4th of July weekend and I'm determined to get a lot of my projects done. So I don't know in what videos this is going to be, but it's going to be in a video somewhere. So I am finishing up my Chloe dupe bag, and now I'm ready to, I finished my name. Now I'm ready to sew the name to the bag, and then I'll be mostly done. I just have to weave in the ends after that. So yesterday I picked up some invisible thread. Honey, I don't know what this is, but I picked up invisible thread. I'm gonna sew my name to the bag if I can ever find the end of the invisible thread. So yeah, this is very difficult. So we're gonna do that together, and then we're gonna move on to the next project. Oh my gosh, how are you supposed to see the invisible thread? Tell me right now. How are you supposed to see where it starts at? Okay, well, I found a piece. Now, I'm sure these people have thought this through and figured out a genius way for you to find the end of a thread on invisible thread, because I just can't be the first person looking for the end of the thread. But I haven't figured out what the genius way is. Easy. Okay, let me TikTok it. Okay, there is a mechanism. You twist it. Y'all knew that, didn't you? I know you did. Okay, I found the end, but I jacked it up somehow. There is the thread. So now I'm just going to grab a needle and put y'all somewhere else, and then we're gonna sew this down somehow. With my hot glue, my name kind of started to curve, but that's okay with me. Hopefully I will make it straight as I sew. So let me find the middle, what I think I want to be the middle. This looks good to me. Maybe I should like clip these down. Is that a thing? Let's see. Do I have any clips? I don't really got no clips or nothing. Oh well. We'll use this as my line. Is that even? I think I like it on this line. Okay. So this is my line. Managed to get most of my name down with this thread. Won't be doing this again. Am I still on the line? Okay. Gotta make sure I'm still on the line. All right, homies. That took way longer than I wanted it to. Took an hour and 40 minutes. An hour and 40 minutes to sew the name on there, but it's done. And I weaved in the end, so this bag is officially done. When I look at the inspo photo, or maybe on the real Chloe bag, it has like a gold charm, bag charm or something. And I really like that because it elevates the look. That's exactly what I want to happen. I want everybody to see my crochet items and think I bought it from the store. Really, I made it. And really, it looks so elevated because of the bag charms, because of the like hardware and stuff like that. So I'm gonna find me a little, like, what is it called? A lock charm? A lock charm? Is that what it's called? Whatever. I feel like there's another word in front of it. A lock, but one of those little locks, you know? Find one of those and put it on here, and then that should like really set the bag off. But she is done. She's ready for vacation, which is so exciting. This invisible thread really did kick my ass. Yeah, I don't want to use that ever again. So next time, if I ever do make this bag again, I think I'll just try to get an embroidery floss the same color and do it that way, because that's crazy. It's actually insane. And I don't recommend. I don't recommend. So very cute bag. I love it so much. This was very simple. I will link every single tutorial that I use to make this bag in the description box. But disclaimer, I just be looking at the tutorials for a guide, and then I do what works for me. Very cute. I am so obsessed, and I finally have a crochet win because I've been making stuff and it's like been very frustrating because nothing is coming out right. So yeah, I'm just a little frustrated, but that's okay. I decided that it's all right. I'm gonna do what's like what I can control, and like this is something I can control. Obviously I finished it. It didn't give me like too much of a hard time, so I felt confident enough, empowered enough to keep pushing through, and I did. So I'm gonna try to focus on projects like that, and then when I feel like it, I will circle back to the projects that are kicking my behind. So yeah, all that to say, this bag is done. So bag 1 of this video is done. I'm gonna try to make the donut bag next, and I had an epiphany last night because I've been struggling like, oh my gosh, what colors am I gonna choose for my donut bag? What do I want to do? Because I want to make sure it matches my vacation color palette, because I don't want to make anything that I don't end up taking. That just would be a waste of time that I could be spending on stuff that I would actually want to wear. I was trying to think hard about the color palette and what kind of accessories would look cute with those, and I think I decided what color would be good for my donut bag. So I need to go and actually look at all my cotton yarn that I have and piece it together. So we'll probably do that in this video too. Okay, I've been a terrible vlogger because I started a bag yesterday. It was 4th of July and I did nothing yesterday, but I did start a bag and I did get caught up on House of the Dragon. So I feel very accomplished, but I started the donut bag. This is what I have so far. It took me a long time to kind of figure out how I wanted the colors to flow into each other, how I wanted to crochet the colors together. So I did take a moment and play around on Procreate and just kind of quickly like map out some color palettes, or like how I want the colors to go. I settled on starting with the pink, moving into the peach being like a big portion of the bag because I have just a tiny bit of orange and I have some yellow, but I don't want a lot of yellow in the bag. So after I do this peach, I'm going to move into the orange and then move into the yellow, then move back into the orange, and hopefully that will be all of my orange that I use, and then back to the peach and back to the pinks is how it will go. I envision the handle of the bag will be back to this dark pink, so I'm hoping it'll look cute. I am holding 2 strands of my colored yarn plus 1 little strand of the silver yarn, and I should have started the silver yarn way down at the bottom. I don't know why I didn't, but it dawned on me that I should probably pick it up. So I did start it close to the bottom, close-ish to the bottom, but I really could have started like the whole thing holding the silver, but it is what it is. So yeah, this is the bag so far. I am liking the size. I'm making the original donut bag size. So it's turning out to be like a pretty decent sized handbag in my opinion. So I can't imagine what the large will look like. I'm sure the large is very cute, but I don't want a bag that big because this is a vacation bag and I'm going to be at an all-inclusive resort, so I don't even need no money for real. I just need lip gloss and a mirror, bare minimum, in this bag. So yeah, it's looking very good so far. I'm happy with it. My only thing is like the silver is cute, but this forces me to wear silver jewelry. Anyway, all that to say, I've started the donut bag. I'm gonna keep working on it, but I did have to tell y'all about it so we could, have a video at some point. So yeah, here's the bag so far. Let's talk a little bit about the pattern itself. I purchased the pattern on Etsy from Bygalk. She's the creator of this pattern, I believe. And so I purchased her pattern. I will say it is more on the expensive end, but you do get both sizes in this one pattern. That could be considered a win if you like that. The way she writes her pattern, it makes sense. Like I actually think it makes a lot of sense, but if you like look away or if you come back to it the next day, you're gonna need to remember what step you're on. Instead of like her going by rounds, she's going by these like steps. It would make sense if you saw the pattern, and I think it makes sense. It's very readable in that way. It's just like, can't remember what step I was on is what you have to pay attention to. So yeah, other than that, I think it's pretty clear. I will say I keep getting like lost on the stitches. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. She says like you should have 76 stitches. You should have this many stitches. And for some reason, I keep coming around and not having the amount. So I end up having to like increase. I end up having to add 1 more stitch to get to the right stitch count, and I don't know what I'm doing to mess that up. I don't know if it's because I'm not chaining one, so maybe that's the issue that I'm having, but something keeps happening. I keep fudging the numbers a little bit. It's not throwing off the look of it, so I think I'm good there. I just wanted to call that out. You think you're good at math until you start to crochet, and then you realize that you can't actually count. So that's where I am with it. But yeah, this is the bag so far. I think I'm gonna go crochet outside somewhere today, since I didn't leave the house yesterday. So I finished the donut bag, y'all. I wanted to show it to you. I still need to weave in. This is actually very nice. Like, I cut off all the rough ends, but I had not that many ends to weave in at all. This is like the only one. But I actually really do love that about this project. So this is the bag. I don't know what's the word, like fluffed out. So like really I would want it to sit like it had something in it. I would want to puff out the sides so that it looked like a true donut bag, like the donut bag. But this is what we have kind of like as a rough edit, and I'm very happy with it. This is what the opening looks like. So I follow the pattern exactly. She does provide instructions for like if you want to make the handles or the straps skinnier or thicker, you can do that. And if you do make those adjustments, the opening will be either larger or smaller. So this is, I don't know if you can see very good. Hopefully you can see like that. That is the opening, which is not very big, which makes sense now because every time I've seen this bag, especially from Bygalk, she always has a claw clip on it. And the claw clip acts as the like closure for the bag so nothing falls out. And this amount, like for the opening, is perfect for a claw clip. It would actually like cover it all. And then you could just keep it closed that way because there's not anything keeping it closed right now. If you wanted to add a closure of some sort, you definitely could. I actually picked up some claw clips and I'm going to see if I can get it bedazzled before my trip. So hopefully I will have a claw clip to use on this bag for the closure. So overall, I really like this bag. I liked the pattern. I think the pattern is a little steep, like as far as the pricing goes, but it was very straightforward. I think I mentioned this before, but she lists this, like the instructions in steps. And so you have to keep up with the steps. Like if you're on step 18, you got to kind of remember that that is what you're doing. Just because the way the pattern is written, if you don't remember, you might get a little messed up. It's very cute. I'm super happy with it. I think it's the perfect beach vacation purse. I worked on the original size. She does include a large size in the pattern. So I guess when you purchase the pattern, you're technically getting two patterns, a large and a small size. So maybe that's like a justification for the price. Can't remember if I told y'all, but this pattern ran me about $14, including tax, and I used a 10% coupon on Etsy. So a little pro tip, if you're not familiar, if you put anything in your Etsy cart, let it sit for like a day, and hopefully the store seller will give you like a 10% discount to come back and actually purchase it and do all the things. It's like an incentive. So I never purchased anything right after I put it in my Etsy cart, because hopefully then people is giving me a 10% discount to shop with them. So yeah, the bag is so cute. I used scrap yarn for this. I think I originally had showed y'all that I was going to use a yellow, but I just didn't like how the yellow was looking with the rest of the bag. So I kind of made it work. I had a very limited amount of this baby pink color. I wish I had more because pink is my jam, but yeah, I just made it work. Tim Gunn, make it work. So this is what we have. I'm actually very happy with it. I look forward to making another one. I think a blue gradient would be super cute. Really like this bag. So yeah, we have 2 bags so far. That's an update on the donut bag by Bygalk. Very cutesy, very cutesy. I am officially back from the Dominican Republic. So that means I'm back with my thoughts around my crochet pieces that I made in this video and wore while I was there. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the crochet skirt that I made. First off, she's so cute. I'm actually in love with her. This skirt turned out how I imagined it to turn out. I think it's super cute. I think I executed it pretty well. The one thing that I would change is that I would make the loops a lot longer. Like by the time I made the loops and they got knotted up, they just shrunk a little bit. So the loops toward the bottom of the skirt are longer than the loops at the top, and I needed the loops at the top to be longer because when I was wearing this skirt, it was so heavy that it was kind of like pulling down, and I was having to pull it back up. And when I was pulling it back up, I was pulling out the shorter loops, and so I actually kind of lost a few, and I got to figure out how to get them back in. I don't know. I don't really know what's happening, but I lost some of the loops. I lost some of the loops, and so they're just not looped anymore, and I can't figure out how to fix that, which is okay with me because low-key I want to take this skirt apart and redo it. Even though I love the concept of a t-shirt yarn skirt and it being so like heavy and just kind of feeling more luxurious, more like I bought it off the rack, I think a cotton yarn could also accomplish a very similar look and not be nearly as heavy, especially like as a plus size person. When I finished this skirt and as I was making it, I was like, this is gonna take up 10 pounds of my 50-pound weight limit in my luggage. And I was like, dang, is this a waste to, you know, take this skirt and take up that like precious space? I ended up taking it anyway, of course, but yeah, it was just on my mind as I was crocheting the whole time. And I think that's something that I kind of think about all the time with anything that I crochet, because even like the crochet dresses that I made or the crochet skirt that I made last summer with all those ruffles, that one was super heavy too. And it's like, that's just something that comes with the territory. When you're like a plus size maker, things just take more fiber and just way more. So yeah, that's been on my mind. So I'm like, is this skirt like worth it? Am I gonna want to pack this skirt again? And also she's super short, and so I intended her to be like a beach cover up kind of thing. So the length is great for the beach, but low key this skirt could be made again, and then I could actually wear it out like on a night out and get more wear out of it for my day-to-day life, like just going out on the town, going out for drinks. This will be a very, very cute statement piece to have. Those are things that are on my mind regarding this skirt, but I love her. The pictures came out good. I'm happy with the pictures that I got in this skirt. I woke up at sunrise to get these pictures because I'm just a girl, so of course I had to get the pictures. This skirt did her job. I will say that we did have a win. I was very sad at the beginning of this video, frustrated that I just was like going through it with crochet in the process because it felt like nothing was working out. But as you can see, we persevered. We have 3 really great projects to wrap up this video, and I love all 3 of them. Yeah, perfect. They were perfect for my beach vacation. The donut bag really is like a standout. I'm so happy with this bag. I think it's so cute. If you want to take the time to bedazzle a claw clip, I think you should absolutely do it because it just takes the bag up one more notch. And yeah, I just got so many compliments on that bag. It seriously looks like something that you could buy from the store. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. All the tutorials, resources I used for the items that I made in this video will be linked in my description box. Leave me love down in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. The engagement really helps. And personally, I would be so jazzed if you engaged with this video at all. So thank you, and I will catch y'all in my next video.